Okay, what is up, everybody? It is Tommy, aka AT Looney here, and basically, this is Auto Talk with Tommy, episode 3, and today is a little special because I am going to cover 2 vehicles today. One of them is Italian, one of them is German. We're going to do the 2023 Maserati GranTurismo and the 2023 BMW XM. Now, before we get started, I am going to put in the advertisement for K&N air filters, cold air intakes, oil filters, and more, with my link to sell you the filters. So, you guys can follow that link, take a look at my advertisement, and then we'll get into the video. So, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Tommy, aka AT Looney here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about K&N air filters. For over 50 years, K&N has been an industry leader in automotive filtration and technology, offering products to increase performance, protection, and longevity in thousands of vehicle applications for consumers worldwide. Now, they not only offer air filters, but they offer cold air intake systems. They offer oil filters, cabin air filters, fuel filters, even home filters. Now, when we get down to their air filters, the reason that their air filters are superior to regular air filters are the performance. They are cleaner, they get better airflow, and when they give you that better airflow, they get better gas mileage and a little bit more horsepower. Not much, but a little bit. And the cold air intake systems, when you're getting that little bit more horsepower and that better gas mileage, again, not a lot, but a couple extra MPGs, you also get a little bit of a cool sound coming in from your motor. So, why go the more expensive route for the K&N air filter versus just changing out your regular basic air filter every so often? Well, instead of having to change your paper filter every so often, you get to take and use this performance option and just get the air filter cleaning kit by K&N and just clean the air filter every time it gets dirty. So when it gets dirty, take the air filter out, clean it, put it back in, and it's like a brand new filter. Makes sense, right? So what you can do, you can follow my link and you can go to the K&N air filter website. You can get yourself an air filter, a cold air intake, whatever you want to get. Oil filter, fuel filter, whatever you feel like getting for your vehicle, go all out. I'll help you, you help me. Thanks. Now that we're back, let's get into taking a look at the Maserati GranTurismo 2023 edition. I like that red color. It's a pretty red. I like those wheels. Of course, they got the drilled brake rotors. A little bit of a lengthy reveal here. I love love the Maserati emblem. That is probably my favorite vehicle emblem.
Before the invention of the GranTurismo concept 75 years ago, a customer basically had to decide between a race car or a car for the road. And what the concept of GranTurismo did is brought these two worlds together. So you could track your car and then drive it home. Basically, by combining this central fuselage with the engine, which in that day was basically that of a Formula One car, and making the car road legal by adding headlights and the volumes that protect the wheels. And the F1 technology is still with us today. The Nettuno engine of the GranTurismo, which comes from the MC20, is mid-car mounted and is utilizing Formula One technology. And that allows us to also, in this case, keep the center line of the car extremely low and allowing the flares, these muscles, to really stand out and create this beautiful
very
sculpture.
curvy, very
Now,
beautiful car.
sculpture combined with purity is extremely important for us because we're not designing cars for a 3-year lease contract.
Definitely something
Our
I'd like to
cars will
have.
go into your
I'd at least
collection.
like to
They
drive
will go
one.
into a concours d'elegance, so they need to express visual longevity. And part of that pursuit of perfection is also to eliminate the cut line that we previously had here on the hood. And we're now moving over to the side to be almost invisible and creating this beautiful clamshell hood that in itself is an engineering masterpiece and belongs onto the wall of a museum to be appreciated as a sculpture. The face of the car is very recognizable, being that from the MC20 and the Grecale, with this very, very
I really
low
like
mouth,
that
of
grille.
course, featuring our Tridente, which for me is the coolest logo in the industry, combined
Yeah,
with those
I agree,
vertical
dude.
headlights, really expressing this new Maserati design DNA on completing the family between MC20, Grecale, and the new GranTurismo. So let's take a look at the side of the new GranTurismo.
Those taillights kind of remind me of the
You can really
Kia Stinger a
appreciate the
little
clean
bit.
construction and the amazing proportion. But believe me, clean construction, clean design is the most difficult thing for a designer because there's so many things in your way. You have to consider the glass drop. You have to consider the hinges of the door. You have to consider side impact. But still, with tight collaboration with the engineering team in Modena, we're able to create this very, very pure sculpture, the very pure fuselage design of the door and the rest of the car. When it comes to the front, these beautiful muscles that are covering the massive front tires, 265/20, and the big 295 21-inch wheel.
Now, before they go any further, hopefully they will get into some detail about what I'm going to say here. When I read about this, which actually made me want to do the reaction to this car, I believe what I read was that this actually has 2 electric motors and the V6. So it's actually got 3 motors in the Nuteno, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, setup. So this should be very interesting. I'm not going to harp on my opinion of the electric motors, because obviously the BMW XM also has a 100 and something horsepower electric motor, I believe I read. But, I'm hoping that it is a good thing to pair with this. So maybe it's a good thing. We will see.
Wheels. When it comes to this part, we're really applying still the human hand. Yes, we're using lasers, we are digitizing, we're scanning, we're using data. But when it comes to such critical parts of the car that are so important to our design and DNA, we're still applying the touch of the human hand. But let's talk about proportion. Proportion is so important for Maserati and of course a car like the GranTurismo. We were able to accomplish a magic dash-to-axle ratio. And this gets measured from the center of the front wheel to the cut line of the front door. This distance is what makes the proportion so magic. And we were able to achieve that together with the packaging engineers in Modena by putting the V6 behind the front axle, be able to create this beautiful long stretch sculpted hood. Now, at the same time, when it comes to the cabin, the challenge was to find space for 4 grown adults. we wanted at the same time to create something very intimate, something that looks very tight, very sporty. And the trick is, when you look at the
I
central
mean, I
line
wouldn't
here,
mind
that's
a
actually quite
two-seater
high because it
roadster,
has to
but
clear the head of the rear passengers. At the same time, you have the dropping line, the graphic of the window. This distance is quite big, but allows us to
if I had a car like this, I'd probably be driving it around by myself. Just, just to be honest.
combine package for 4 adults with the look of a very, very tight and sporty cabin. But the result,
I
nonetheless,
love
is
that
through
lip on
great
the trunk,
packaging that we can hold 4 adults
red with
and we
that
can
little
combine that with
black or carbon
supercar
fiber
performance
lip.
that in this combination really lets the GranTurismo stand out. So I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to the Maserati GranTurismo, and I hope to see you soon on the streets.
Okay. This is very low to the ground. I like that color too. Folgore. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I really like that paint job. It almost looks like a rat. Heck, it could be a rat for all I know. But either way, that does look very nice. God, I love that emblem. Really? They didn't get into detail about the motor or anything? Well,
No, that's not it,
that
Dave. You don't
sucks.
have it. I think I need to remember.
Okay, so basically, like I said, the article that I read said something along the lines of the Nutino setup, or Nutino, um, however they pronounce it, is that it's going to have two electric motors along with the V6. I didn't get a chance to see anything about the numbers of horsepower or 0 to 60 times or anything like that, but I would definitely love to drive this vehicle. The Maserati GranTurismo, any Maserati, ever since I saw the Maserati Ghibli, or Ghibli, however you pronounce it, in um, Furious 7, I think it was, uh, when um, Jason Statham and Vin Diesel, you know, versed each other, and then they just ran head to head against each other and slammed into each other in that one scene. That was just like, I fell in love with the Maserati at that point. So ever since then, I've had a goal that like I at least want to drive a Maserati at some point in my life, or if not, I would love to own one. I actually know somebody that has one uh close to where I live, so I will probably get up with him and try to see if he would be interested in doing a drive along video with me for the channel. So that would be something that would be pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's get into looking at the BMW XM. And we're not even going to go with that same channel. Let's see if we can find one that might I swear, I love the look. Love the look. Hopefully this one will give us some numbers.
What's up, guys? It's Blondie here in LA. This right here
That
is the
is
most
such a
expensive
beautiful
BMW
SUV.
ever made.
That two-tone color is wicked.
The whole front is new. This is its debut on this car, and this new front design will be featured on all luxury BMWs going forward from 2022 and on. Right around here.
I mean, that just looks like a bull raging towards you.
Look, it's a
Just
wave
flared,
so that's going to
flared
stay upright
open.
when you drive. That is so cool, guys. What
That
we're
is
looking
pretty,
at right
pretty
here
neat.
is a concept car, but about 85 to 90% of the design you see is going to actually be in the production car. So we've got this car to look forward to. It's actually coming out, you guys. Look at these lights up here, little spotlights. They are super cool.
Now, one thing I've always loved about BMWs is the way they've got that split grille like that. But the way this SUV has it done, like I said, I mean, it just looks like the front end of this SUV, it just looks so mean and muscular and tough. Just looks like a monster raging toward.
Cool, right? Let's hope. Guys, put them in. Alright, you've got this matte bronze gold metallic here. So that's kind of like a warm colour, and then you've got this high gloss.
Where's the door and the
and then you have
door
this
handle?
grey metallic. So they're all about contrasting colours, and in the interior you won't believe
Is that just
what
a
they have
button?
done. Like, I've never seen anything like it. This is all new. All new.
Those
So you've
lights
got
are
these beautiful back
wicked,
taillights running all the way down
ridiculous,
the side
man.
of the car. I love that. And
That is
going to
crazy.
be in the production car. They're going to be a little bit thicker, is what I've heard, but that design detail will be there. Now, what is super cool is this right here. BMW has been watching our vlogs because you may notice Sergi actually got special exhausts on his X6. Right here, you can see it. And look at what they've done!
Yeah, I like that because you're used to seeing side by side dual exhausts instead of, stacked on top of each other dual exhaust tips. That's pretty cool that they're taking, and going from this to this. That's a pretty unique.
On the back, how cool is this? First time. I'm loving that design, so that's pretty cool. Sergi, you'd be proud, mate.
Hey man, can I copy your homework? Huh? Can I copy your homework? No, you can't copy my homework! Jerry's fixing
Now, what also is super interesting is there's no BMW logo here on the back. It's gone. But it has been moved up here to either side. Here.
That's
and
pretty
here.
neat too.
Now, you may go, hang on a minute, I've seen that before. And you have. That is the same design as on the BMW M1, the iconic mid-engine supercar or sports car that BMW produced over
Yeah,
40
I did
years ago. Now, what's
I did think
interesting
I
is
had seen that before
this car
somewhere.
right here, the XM, is the first standalone M car since the M1. So this, guys, is not going to be the X8. This is the XM. This is going into production next year, which marks 50 years since BMW went into motorsport, so BMW M. So that's all kind of like where it nicely ties up into a little bow. Right here, that's where the petrol goes in, but it's actually a hybrid, and this is the very first time an M model, pure M, has hybrid technology. So it has a V8 and one electric motor, and it produces, get this, 750 horsepower. 750 horsepower, that is mad for an SUV, you guys. Just to give you an example, that's 100 more horsepower than the Lamborghini Urus. This is
Yeah,
going to that super luxury, super high performance level. So people who buy Lamborghinis, the Urus, the G-Wagon, all of those kind of super high-end luxury SUVs.
now, in the last video about the Jeep Recon, I mentioned that in an SUV, I don't really care about 0 to 60 times or big horsepower unless you give me a Trackhawk. You put that Hellcat motor in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, then I'm going to care about 0 to 60 times. This is another exception. I would love to have, or at least drive, this BMW. But as much as this thing weighs, when I read about this and saw that it was making over 700 horsepower, it was 600 and something from the V8 motor and 100 and something from the electric motor. I think that it was something like 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, is maybe what I read. I could be wrong, but still, I mean, with as heavy of a vehicle as this is going to be, that's not too bad. But still, um, I'm not looking for an SUV to be going 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. So that's pretty good. But still, the Trackhawk's going to beat it. That's just all I got to say.
This is for you. The design team told me that their in-house, like, working
Those
title
headlights
for
are
this
just
car
so
was
small and subtle.
the Rockstar. So the whole theme around the car is about you living the life of a rock star. Now that's going to make sense in just a second. Let's come on inside. Look at this.
That's just so gorgeous.
Handles. They don't actually come out, they come in. Just go
Okay,
like that.
I see how the handles are now.
Now, check this out.
Excuse
When you
me.
think of a rock star, what do you think? So what they've got is this vintage leather here in the front
Why is this lagging?
seats. Look at this. I've actually never seen vintage leather look on a brand new luxury car.
That is
How crazy is
super
that?
clean and nice.
All of
That's
this
very,
is new
very
carbon
nice.
fiber, and it's got copper woven
Very
through
high
it to give
tech.
you that kind of like rock star feel to it. The front is like the stage for the Rockstar, right? It's all based on performance. You get out there and you got to do your job. You got to perform. So everything is kind of rotated towards the driver, including this curved screen display, and all of this kind of like leans in towards the driver, and you've got this kind of Rockstar vintage leather feel, like, we're gonna rock this house. Woo! In the back, once you've performed on stage, you get the backstage vibes. So this is like the backstage of a rock concert, and this is all about luxury. So you sit in here.
Oh my
after you've
God.
performed on stage. You're backstage now in the green room, and it's all about comfort. And now check this out. Just take a look at this ceiling. Where in the world have you seen this before? This is totally new. So if you compare it to something like super luxurious, think of like the Rolls Royce and its Starlight roof. This is BMW's version of the Starlight roof, and I think this is super cool because it's so textural. Like, you can just feel all of these lines and the lights. If we can get those changed, let's just have a look. Yes, look at this, look at this. It can change into all the M colors. And just look how it reflects off this kind of design on the roof. I just think that is super, super
Guys,
cool. I've never
this
seen anything
is
like it. And
like
guess
the
what?
coolest
That will be in the production
thing
model. This is
ever.
not just a concept. This is what you're going to see when you sit in the backseat of the actual production XM. You've now got different materials, again, focused on that contrast. So in the back, it is for relaxation. You've got this satin in like this petrol green color, and you see how it's more of a
That's
lounge
beautiful.
chair? See, it's just one kind of big chair in the back here.
Goals.
That is something
That's
they're
all
going
I
to
can
keep
say.
for the production,
Goals.
model as well. So instead of just having individual chairs, you have this kind of lounge chair feel. And here as well, I just love the contrast between this vintage leather, this green here, and then this satin. And I just think that's really cool. All right, so here we are. I actually think
Triple
this is
tone.
so cool, you guys. This is like their ultra luxury, ultra performance model, and that is why it is a standalone M BMW. I really like this. Oh look, oh you can feel it actually woven. This is all textured. It's not a flat surface.
That is just
that's really cool.
wild, man.
And,
Oh my
and just
God.
being in the front here, you look back, you think it's a completely different car in the back. Just look how that contrasts to the front. I just think that's super interesting. What's interesting to me also is the designers said, we understand social media is such a big part of people's lives today. So we wanted to make things that are visually interesting that people can feature on their social media. You know, sit in the back and just be like, look how cool this roof is. Like, I feel like I'm
For
like
real,
backstage at a rock concert. Like, how freaking cool is this? I've never felt this before. So I really like that they're
this
leaning
is,
into this.
guys, like, no joke. This is seriously, I know I just got done talking about, like, the Jeep Trackhawk. I would like to own one because of the speed. But if I had the choice, I would take this right here, hands down. This is goals. Like, I'm doing an online business. You know, I'm trying to get into affiliate marketing and online real estate and, you know, stuff like that. And, like, once that takes off, once I start bringing the money in, boy, I'm getting one of these. Best believe it. I'm gonna pay off the car that I'm paying on right now, and as soon as I get it paid off, I'm trading it in on one of these. I accidentally just knocked my light. I'm so excited. This BMW XM has just got me hyped.
This world of social media, because, you know, that's what we're all watching, right? You're on it right now. We're going to see this car in production very, very soon, end of 2022. The most expensive BMW ever made. And who knows, maybe, I don't know, take my money?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You want my money?
Take my money.
Bye guys, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek. See you later.
Yeah, seriously. Like, all jokes aside, if I'm making enough money to keep up with my bills and to be able to afford one of these when they come out, this is what I'm going to get. So, that's been my reviews of the 2023 Maserati GranTurismo and the 2023 BMW XM. And until next time, this is AT Looney saying peace out.